It's 111 degrees outside.
This is Avata, and it can do this. Save you from a terrible loop.
Hi. Where is it? This is DJI's brand new drone, Avata. And this thing is small, extremely sturdy. It has built-in propeller guards, as you can see, which means when you bump left and right, it's not the propellers. It's a lot more forgiving. You can fly this like a regular drone or in full manual mode, or as we like to call it, the FPV mode. DJI usually releases a lot of drones that are basically flying cameras. So it does a lot of intelligent stuff for you. And then they released the DJI FPV drone, which you can fly like a regular drone with the goggles, but then you can switch to the manual mode. So this is like that, but this is smaller, lighter. It actually has new goggles, smaller goggles with built-in antennas, and it has a cover for the lenses as well. We're gonna see more about that. You can adjust the eye pupil distance, and then you can focus according to your vision, which is really good. So if you want to buy it, you can just buy it by itself, or you can buy it as a combo. So when you get the combo, it comes with this and the goggles. You can either get the new goggles or the FPV goggles with the motion controller. But you can also use the regular FPV remote controller to fly the drone as well. So I think DJI really wants to pull your attention towards the motion controller a little bit. This is really good when you just want to fly your drone with one hand. But is it fun? Okay, see this canal here? What I want to do is I want to see if I can go through it using the motion controller. It's 110 degrees and it's windy, but we're gonna have a lot of fun. All right, time to turn this on. Time to turn the goggles on. The controller on. All right, everything is on. Let's take out the eyepiece. You double tap the lock button. The motor started, okay. And then when you hold it down again, it took off. As you can see, I can turn it left and right like this, but not like that. So let's start recording the video. Let's go here a little bit to see what's going on. So that was easy. As you can see, it shows we are in the normal mode, by the way. This is not sport mode. So let's try something else. This is very easy so far. We're coming to a turn. Okay. This is basically like a video game. I cannot even explain how easy this is. This is so much fun. So if you may be asking what's gonna happen if you want to move your arms or like let the remote go, because in normal mode when you tilt the remote it's turning, right? You hit the big button, which is the brake button, then you can do whatever you want and then just grab it. So we were in the normal mode. Let's switch to sport mode. let's not get too comfortable. But I'm telling you, this is, this feels like a video game. Oh man, that was close. What am I doing with myself? The wind is brutal. There's a lot of wind. So I landed. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you the head tracking. And for that, we're gonna go down here. And as you can see, it's right there. So this is head tracking. I'm gonna go more careful with this one, but as you can see, I can look wherever I want. And there's an indication about where we're traveling. And I'm not feeling any latency. I mean, of course there is, but it's not making me dizzy. It's just too much adrenaline right now. So this is how the head tracking works. It's the perfect weather to test all of this because it's really hot and then it's really windy at the same time, which is good because otherwise 100 degrees is way too much. Now we're in one of the abandoned buildings. The motion controller is basically like a joystick and you can direct the drone super easily. I enjoyed it so much. It's a lot simpler than the remote controller. It's a new way to fly the drone. But of course you cannot do stuff like, I don't know, circling around the surfer, for example, or going backwards. There are things you cannot do. But with that circle showing you where you're heading towards and just being that agile, because it's so small and so agile, I was able to go through that canal without any worry. There was maybe one minute where I felt like I'm getting too close, because also remember, it's ultra wide angle in the goggles. And the thing is, from a little bit of distance, this thing doesn't look like a drone. I was telling this to Justine yesterday. I don't know if it's an advantage or disadvantage, because once it's out of your, for the spotter, once out of your sight, it's not easy to find it. Actually, Justine found another drone thinking that was me, and then she was wondering why I wasn't doing the things she was telling me to do, because there were things coming towards me, and she was like, why aren't you listening to me? Don't go backwards, go towards the ocean. And I'm, in my view, I'm going towards the ocean. And she's like, not that way, the other way. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm turning around to look. There's nothing around me, by the way. We found our spot really well. But because she lost the drone and you cannot see where I'm looking with the goggles, because I'm not looking where the drone last was, she was just completely looking in a different direction. Okay, I'm going towards the ocean.
Or, sorry, go towards the ocean. You're going away from the ocean. Stop. Go towards the beach.
Okay.
Yeah,
Should I descend?
You're very close. Don't descend. Yeah, just be very careful. I would say, okay, I'm very nervous. No, you're going the other way. Wait, there's another drone. Oh my God. I was like, what are you doing? Oh my God. That wasn't even you. I'm like, why are you not listening to me? That wasn't you. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Holy crap. Okay, maybe it was a bird. I don't know. I thought that was you. You're over here.
I'm right here. That's hilarious.
I'm panicking. Like, I thought that was you, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you're literally flying in the opposite way that I'm telling you to.
I'm like turning around and I'm not seeing anything. I'm like, where are they? Where can they be? I've been flying this in the house a little bit, and I crashed it quite a lot of times here and there, bumped it here and there, and it is still in one piece. So I'm guessing I'm gonna survive here today, because today I want to do a couple of stuff. I have my spotter here. I got her the coffee she needs, and then she just arrived. Yeah, there she is. We call her the FPV Joe. She's very supportive, and then she tells you can do stuff. Well, here's the challenge. Today I want to not only flip in the air, I think I want to try a loop. And loop is very dangerous for me. In case you're wondering, since I flew that FPV drone, I had no time to fly the FPV drone again. So the last time you saw me flying an FPV drone was the last time I flew an FPV drone. I practice again using the app. They have an app which is very useful. It's called Virtual Flight, DJI Virtual Flight. I highly recommend it because it's very realistic, and it really puts in that muscle memory you want to have when you want to fly. Let's talk more about the drone. It has 1/1.7-inch CMOS sensor, which is bigger than the DJI FPV drone. It has wider field of view, 155 degrees compared to 150 on DJI FPV drone. Of course, you can change the field of view of what you're recording, but on the goggles you always see in the ultra wide mode. It is fixed focus, so you don't need to worry about focusing. Of course, that's not a thing with the FPV drones. From 0.6 meters to infinity, it can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second, 1080 120 frames per second, up to 150 megabits per second, which is once again higher than the DJI FPV drone. It has the Cine-like color profile if you want to edit and get that higher dynamic range in your footage. It of course supports rock steady. It does the stabilization in it, and it has horizon steady. And if you want, you can add stabilization on top of it, because it records the IMU data, records the gyro data into the SD card. So you can use other programs, third-party programs, to stabilize your footage even more. When you're looking down, you sometimes see the propellers in the ultra wide angle. Keep that in mind. You can mount ND filters. It has 20 gigabyte internal storage. When it comes to speed, it can go up to 97 kilometers per hour in manual mode, which is the FPV mode, which is a little slower than the DJI FPV, which was 140 kilometers per hour. In sport mode, it can go up to 50 kilometers per hour. DJI FPV can go up to 97, and in the normal mode it can go up to 28 kilometers per hour, and DJI FPV was able to go up to 54 kilometers per hour. So in the regular mode, normal mode, it feels slow. It is slow. In the sport mode, it feels fine if you're an experienced drone pilot. And in the manual mode, I don't know yet. I haven't flown yet, so we'll see. When it comes to wind speed, it can resist up to level 5, which is a little less than DJI FPV as well. And when it comes to sensors, it only has 2 downward sensors. And the most interesting thing is you put the memory card right in there. So that's not easy to put in there or take it out. It has 2 antennas as opposed to 4 antennas in DJI FPV. But same range, 10 kilometer range. Now quickly, let's talk about DJI goggles. These weigh 290 grams, which is a lot less than the other DJI FPV goggles, which weighs 420 grams. And as you can see, this doesn't have the band on top, so you wear it like this. It has a nice Velcro here to tighten it up. It is not as comfortable for me compared to the DJI FPV goggles. We have a touch screen here. You can go up and down, left and right, tap it with 2 fingers and go between menus. It has low latency mode, which is less than 28 milliseconds. or in the regular mode, it is 40 milliseconds. I'm looking at my notes here, which is same as the DJI FPV goggles. It has 2-hour battery life. As I mentioned before, the antenna's here now. You don't have to mount the antenna, so it's easier to start flying. It takes in a micro SD memory card to record on itself. We have a USB-C port, the power port, headphone jack. That's pretty much it. You probably know motion controller by now, but let's go over it again. Motion controller is very much like the regular controller, but you use this to go forward. We have the mode button to switch between modes here. We have the lock button, and then we have the brake. So let's say if you're going and you need to brake, you just tap on this and it brakes. To turn left and right, you do this. To turn left, you do that. To turn right. We have the record button here. We have the tilt button. And when you're using this on your goggles, you can trigger head tracking, which means with your head, you can look. But let's say you're going this way, and when you turn your head that way, the drone still keeps on going that way while facing this way. So you gotta remember that. I think now we can fly using the regular FPV controller in the regular mode and just get some, you know, normal camera-like shots and see what those look like. And then we will switch to FPV. I want to spare at least more than one battery for FPV because we're looping today. We're not flipping the bird. We're looping the water park sign. You with me? I'm not getting any support from FPV Joe this time.
I don't know. We're not FPVing at the moment. You're just.
Oh, that's when it engages?
This is talking head.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Okay, makes sense. Okay.
You got this.
This is how insecure I am.
You got this.
The pressure after the FPV drone review, like very few. Oh, thank you. You're going down.
You got it.
No, not going down. You're flying fine.
Flying
What
up,
am I
flying
saying?
around.
Yeah, you're not going down at all, little bird. You're gonna fly. The pressure after not crashing the FPV review is pretty high. I have to tell you. I feel the pressure. So here we go. This is normal mode, the fastest speed. And this is sport mode. The signal seems to be doing really good. Of course, we're banking as we're turning. So yeah, this feels quite normal. Now we're gonna open this part up and switch this to FPV mode, and we'll see what happens. You've been a good bird, but now it's time for FPV test. Okay. As you know, I'm a big fan of Mr. Steel when it comes to FPV. I mentioned this a lot of times. And I have my Mr. Steel style set up here where you can see my hands where I make the mistake. And but the thing is, with DJI FPVs, you can hit this button, and this is the emergency button, where the drone switches back to the regular mode. And so if you're feeling like something is off, you can just tap on this and it goes back to the regular mode, and it should be, you know, save us. So there are also two modes in the FPV mode. One of them doesn't let the FPV flip, the other one does. So I think I want to start with the one that doesn't let the drone flip first for one simple flight. Then we'll see what's up. Let's see if I can take off first. Here in control, remote controller. See that gain and expo? So I'm gonna turn that on, this one, M mode attitude limit. And that's gonna stop us from flipping. Okay, so this piece of cake. And landed. Was that bad landing?
It was a little smack.
Yeah. All right.
It was only about a foot before it just kind of dropped, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay, now we're gonna go into settings and control, remote controller, and we're gonna turn this off. So now I'm gonna take off again. So now everything is manual. The drone sounds normal, it's not majestic like the other one. Okay.
Oh, that was cool. It's like a little roller coaster.
How was that? Okay, so I have a little more space.
You're like, I got okay here.
It's not as agile as the DJI FPV. DJI FPV only required a little bit of touch from the, throttle. I crashed.
Where?
I crashed.
What do you mean?
Let's inspect it. Oh yeah. We're still in one piece. There's a little dent in the propeller. Of course, once again we have stones in here. A little bit of. But other than that, everything seems to be fine. This is what I wanna loop. This is where it all gonna either end or we will go back home. Can I do it? Can I do it? Go in, up, flip, come down, go through again. A loop. Here. We'll see. We'll see. Oh my God! Ah!
I didn't understand it.
Oh!
You didn't know me.
Aircraft processor overheated, so that's your call. Got the same amount of adrenaline. Maybe I was a little calmer because the other one is so big. If it crashes, I feel like it's going to be so much worse, especially if I crash into something. This just bumped there like crazy and nothing happened to it. Actually, after I flew, all the dust flew from the drone. You can't even tell that it ever landed on the floor like that. So good job, DJI. I'm gonna go to a hospital now, get my heart checked. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. And please let me know what you think about DJI Avata in the comment section below. And I'm gonna go and drink, eat, and drink and eat. See you later. It's still here. It's still in one piece. Still in one piece, one way or another.